We are from DLT Tech, and today we'll be looking at the reports module of our ERP system. So as you can see on our dashboard, we have several different reports visible over here. So similarly, the module for that, as you can see, we have it over here. So when we click on the drop-down arrow, a list of several other submodules or reports is visible over here. So it has reports for almost all of the modules that we have. So you get to see a summarized report for all of the modules: finance, attendance, exams, human resource, and inventory, etc. So first we'll look at student records, under which we have multiple other reports. So as we know that we have multiple reports for different modules, so in order to generate or see the data in those reports, it's important that we keep the other modules up to date and upload all the necessary data so that the reports of all these categories are generated. So firstly we can see we have the student report, wherein we can select our desired class and section, the category. So if you wish to see the students from a specific category, you can just choose that. You can also choose a specific gender, etc. And then you can click on search so that you get to see the data for those specific students. And you can also see the age-wise data collection report as well. So as we can see over here, we have multiple columns and we can see the details of a specific student. Next we have the class and section report. So over here, we'll be able to see the different class and sections we have in our school and the number of students or the class strength of those sections. And if you click on the view students option, you'll be able to see the details of the students. Next up we have the guardian report. So over here, if you click and select on a specific class section, you'll be able to see the data regarding the guardians of the students who are a part of that class and what exactly is the detail, such as contact details, parents details, and the relation of the student with the guardian. So all of this will be visible over here. Next we have student history. So then we can again select the class and the year of admission. So we'll be able to see the students who were enrolled in class 1, for example, in the year 2026, and all of their information such as the date of admission, student name, admission number, their guardian details, parents details, and the number of years they have been a part of the school, along with the academic years. Next we have student login credential, wherein once again you'll be selecting the class and section, and after clicking on search, we'll be able to see the login credential details such as username and password for all of the students pertaining to this class. Now similar to the student login credential, we also have parent login credential, where once again when we select on a specific class and section, we'll be able to see the parent username and password for those students so that it helps them to log into the ERP system. Now we have class subject report. So after choosing the class and section, we'll be able to see the different subjects that we have for this class and section. So the different subjects that we have and the teacher who is assigned to that subject, along with the timings and room number in which the classes are being conducted. Now we have admission report. So we can firstly select the time frame as to which period do you want to look at. So if you wish to look at the admissions that have happened over the course of the last 3 months, you can select that. And similarly, this month, last 12 years or last year, etc. So there are many options. So you can click on that. and click on the search option so that you have the details of the admissions or enrollments that have happened during that course. So as we can see in this particular year, we have had one admission and all the details of that student will be visible over here, such as admission number, student name, the class in which they have been admitted to, the parents' details, admission date, date of birth, their gender category, and contact details, etc. We also have a sibling report. So, as we know that there might be multiple siblings studying in the same school or in the same class, it's important that we also keep a record of them. So, once again, we can select the class and section and we'll be able to see the students who have their siblings studying in the same school or class along with their parents and guardians details and the name of the sibling and class, gender, admission date, etc. Next we have student profile. So we can click on our desired time period of the admissions. So we can click on this year, the class section. So we'll be able to see the student profile of the students who have been admitted into this class during this time period. And when we click on search, we get to see this data and their details in much more depth. So we have the admission number, roll number, class section, their name, gender, date of birth, other details such as contact details, category, religion, caste, their admission date, and all the related student details such as blood group, the house that they belong to, height, weight, discount management in case there is any discount given on the fees. Their parents' details such as contact details, name and occupation. The guardian details will also be visible over here along with their address, etc. And if they have opted for the school transport such as the bus, then the route list will also be visible over here. And in case the school or college offers hostels and the student is a hostler, then the hostel details such as which property and which room number, etc. is also visible over here. And lastly, we have these details such as the bank account number, name, IFSC code, etc. and previous school details. So these bank account related details might be important for fees records, etc. Now we have student gender ratio report. So over here we'll be able to see the different class and sections that we have divided into the number of girls and boys that are studying in that class. And after that we'll be able to see a general ratio of how many boys to girls do we have in our school. Similarly, we have student teacher ratio so that we can see how much is the total class strength opposed to the number of assigned teachers. Now we have online admission report. So as we know that the ERP system offers the feature to enroll the students online, so the parents can do self-admission through the ERP system. We can just select the class and section in which the online enrollment has happened and the status, whether it's pending or whether the admission has already happened, and we'll be able to see the details such as reference number, admission number, student details, and the form, payment status, etc. So this is it for the student records report. Now we have up next the certificate count list. So since our ERP system is also helpful in generating all different sort of certificates, as we can see a few examples over here such as leaving certificates, bona fide entry, and any certificates for any use, any purpose we can generate it on a ERP system. So over here we can see the records of all the different certificates that have been generated using the ERP system. You can also select the dates and search it so that the results are much more refined and specific. And all the details such as admission number, the student name, class, gender, and the type of certificate, etc. Also the name of the staff who generated the certificate All of this is visible over here. You can also click on view in order to see the student details in much more detail. Now we have the finance submodule wherein we have multiple other reports. So most of the settings or the data that has been uh, summarized in these reports is edited or uploaded in the accounting module or the fees management module or income management module. So first we have balance fees statement. So as the name suggests, we'll be able to see the balance fees for a specific class and section. So when we click on it, the data for the students will appear, such as the fees group. So all of these details such as the fees group, fees code, etc. All of this has already been talked about in the fees management module. So over here we'll be able to see the status and the other details such as the fine, paid, balance, any concession or the mode of payment, payment ID, etc. for the different students. Next we have daily collection report. So we can select the time period such as the date, and once we click on it, we'll be able to see the total transactions and the amounts that have happened during this time period, and then we can also view the collection in detail. Now we have fees receipt report. So we can again specify the time period. So whether you wish to look at the record for the last 12 months, this year, last year, you can choose that, and the details of the student and their receipts will be visible over here. So we can see these two records, such as the date on which they paid their fees, their name, admission number, the class and section that they belong to, their mode of payment, and the amount. Next we have the fee statement. So once again we'll be selecting the class section, and if we wish to look at the fee statement or the receipt for one particular student, we can do that. So we'll be able to see the entire fees records for this particular student belonging to this class. So the due date, the status of their fees, any balances that might be there for this particular student can be visible over here. So using this particular option, the fee statement record, you can view the details for individual students. Next we have balance fees report. So we can select the class and section and check individually for balance or no balance. Then we'll get the records of all the students who have some balance fees left, and similarly we can also choose to see the students who have no balance left. So as you can see over here, these are the students who have no balance left to pay. We also have term balance fees report. So we can enter the term. So there could be fees pertaining to different terms such as term 1, term 2. So you can select that, the class and section, and you can check if you wish to include or exclude RTA, and the data will be visible over here. So you can see there are different type of fees and their balances. Next we have fees collection report. So here we'll be able to see the different type of fees and the amount that has been collected over the span of. So we can select the class and section, the type of fees. So the school might be having different type of fees that they are collecting. So we can choose transport fees, and the staff member has collected them, and the group. So if you wish to see class collector mode, you can choose that and we'll be able to see the data regarding the student who has paid their transport fees over the course of this period. So similarly, you can choose different class and sections, different type of fees and different durations. Now we have online fees collection report. So we can select the type again, the duration, and once we click on search, the data will be visible over here. So as we know that we have the option to pay fees online through our ERP system, this will help us to view the records of that. So if we had any data, the records will be visible over here. Next we have the balance fees report with remarks. So once again we'll be selecting the class and section. And we'll be able to see the detailed reports of the balance fees report, such as the student admission and name, the class that they belong to, the type of fees that is remaining, the amount and the balance, etc., along with the remark if it has been specified. And you can also print these details. Now we have income report. So we can once again select the duration and we'll be able to see all the income that has been collected over the course of this year, divided into the name, the invoice number, and which income head or category do they belong to, along with the date of receiving it and the amount. Similar to that, we have expense report, wherein once again we'll be required to select the duration and the details regarding the date, the expense head or the category, the name, invoice number, and amount will be displayed. Moving on to the payroll report. So we'll be able to see the details or the records regarding the payroll that has been generated over the course of this year, for example, along with the details such as the name of the staff member, their role, whether they are teacher, student, principal, vice principal, teaching staff, non-teaching staff, etc., the designation, the month and year for which the payroll or the salary slip was generated, the pay slip, and all the other calculations such as their basic salary, any earning which could be, additional bonuses, etc., any deductions which might have happened due to any unpaid leaves or due to any violations, etc., there could be deductions as well. After which, the gross salary, the taxes, and the net salary will be visible over here. Next, we have income group report. So once again, we'll be selecting the year and the income head. And when we click on search, if we had the data, it would be visible over here. So this will basically help you to look at the data collection or the income collection for one particular income head. So a school could collect income in multiple ways. It could be fees, it could be any other extra fees or charges that they are being charging from the students or parents, such as uniform fees, transport fees, etc. So the broad categories will be mentioned over here. So you can just select that. So in case I wish to see the income collection from the fees, then I can choose that and click on search. So I will only be displayed the details regarding that particular category of income. Now similar to that, again we have income expense head report. So the time frame and the expense head will be chosen. So there could be several different expenses for the school, such as rent, electricity, there could be some stationery, some catering fees, etc. So you can just choose the category of expense and the details regarding that, such as expense ID, name, invoice number, date, and amount will be displayed over here. Now the online admission fees collection report. So for the students who have enrolled online and the ones who pay fees online, their data will be visible over here. So the details regarding the transaction or the fees paid will be visible over here. Similarly, we have due fees report. So we'll be selecting the class and section and we'll be clicking on search so that we get to see the students who still have to pay their dues along with the name, parents details, class, the due amount, total due amount and contact details, etc. Now we have income expense balance report. So we'll be selecting the time period and we'll be able to see the net transactions that have happened. So the income and the expense and the overall balance that have happened. So we'll be able to see the net. Then we have assigned discounts. So we can select on the discount name or code and search the students. So in multiple places it does happen that the school or college offers discount to some students on their fees. So if we select the name or code, we'll be able to see the students who have been assigned the discount and their details such as the name, admission number, class, parents details, the discount code, name and type along with the amount. Now we have TC's out student balance fees report. So these are the students who have taken their transfer certificate and left the school. So we can see the details of them. So if they still have any balance fees left, the school will have to send a reminder and collect the balance fees from them. So these are the students who have taken their TC, the transfer certificate and left the school. So as we can see, these are the dues which they still have to pay. So the school can remind them to pay them. Next we have the counter billing report. So we can select the class section, the mode of payment such as cash, check, transfer, online or other payments, the date, so we can see the counter billings that have happened for this class using this payment mode for this period. So all of the details will be visible over here. So this could be the case if the school is selling any other goods and the students are required to purchase them, for instance uniform. So if the student is purchasing the uniform and if the student belongs to this class and the payment mode is cash and they have made the purchase during this time period, the data will be visible over here such as the receipt, the exact date, name and class of the student, the type of fees. So it could be uniform fees, transport fees, it could be any sports event related fees along with the actual rate, sale rate, quantity in case there has been any exchange of goods such as study materials such as textbooks or uniform, etc. And then the total and the mode of payment will be visible. Lastly, we have the monthly transport fees report. So we once again be selecting the class and section, and once we click on search, we'll be able to see the data regarding that, such as the monthly transport fees that has been paid by the student pertaining to this class. Next up, we have the attendance reports. So all the details regarding these reports is entered in the academic operations or attendance module or other modules such as staff attendance or biometric, etc. So over here we'll be able to see the attendance records for this particular class for the month of May 2026, for example. So in detail we'll be able to see the number of students who were present, late, absent, half day, etc. for these days, and the details are bifurcated by the different students who are a part of the class. Next we have student attendance time report. So we'll be selecting the time period, the type of attendance. So if we wish to see the data of all the students who were present in this time period, we can choose that. And there are many other details, such as if we wish to see the students who appeared late during this time period, we'll be able to see that as well, along with the class and section. So we'll be able to see the data over here for the students and the exact count. So this will be helpful for us, especially to see the number of students who have been constantly appearing late or who have constantly been marked as absent over the course of this period belonging to a particular class and section. Next up we have the daily attendance report. So we can select the date and click on search to see the attendance report for that date. So we'll be able to see the details for the class and section, the total present bifurcated into girls and boys, also the total absent and present, etc. Plus we can also see the ratio of the present and absent students in percentage. Next we have the student day-wise attendance report. So we'll be selecting the class and section, the date and the source. So whether the attendance has happened through manual checking, through QR code or barcode, or the biometric system. So we'll be clicking on search so that we have the data regarding that. So over here we'll be able to see the entire data of the students belonging to this class and their attendance records for this particular date. Similarly, we have the staff day-wise attendance report. So we can select the type of staff. So as we have different type of staff such as teaching, non-teaching, superintendent, receptionist, librarian, teacher, etc. We can select the role, the date and the source. And after clicking on search, we'll be able to see the data for them. Next, we have the staff attendance report, wherein we can once again select the role, the month and year. And similar to the students, we'll be able to see the details for the teaching staff as we have chosen the teachers, and the total present, late, absent, half days, etc. that they have taken for this particular month. Now we have attendance report. So we can select the class, the section, month and year. So this is for the Maharashtra module, where we'll be able to see the student attendance report. And similarly, we have the attendance report for the staff for the Maharashtra module. So all of the details will be visible over here. Next we have the biometric attendance log. So since we know that as an institution we do provide external systems which help you to install the biometric attendance system in your school premises or college premises and integrate your attendance with that. So the record regarding that will be visible over here, such as the student name, admission number, the punch-in details, device serial number, etc. So that you have all the accurate records of the timing of entry and exit of the students. Now we have the monthly attendance summary. So we'll be selecting the class section. And you can also look up for the summary of one specific student by entering their name or GR number. So we have two views. So currently we are looking at the details of the list view, and we can also look at it from the details view option, where we'll be able to see the student details and the monthly attendance summary. Similarly, since we also have the hostel module integrated on our system, and many schools or colleges offer the hostel facility, it's also important that we have the report of the hostel's attendance. So we can see if we wish to see the report of a daily detailed basis or a monthly shift-wise summary, we can choose that, and all the records will be displayed over here. Next up, we have examination reports. So first we have the rank report. So we'll be selecting the exam group. So all of these details such as the exam group, exam, etc., session and all has been already made in the examination management module, which we already spoken about. Then after selecting the class section, the data regarding the ranks of the students will be visible over here, such as the percentage, grand total, student name, roll number, and most importantly, their rank. Now we have the term-wise report. So we can select the term for which we wish to see the results, the exam, session and class details, and we'll be able to see the data for the exams that have been conducted in this particular term, divided by the subject names, the total percentage, the student names, etc. Similarly, we have the subject-wise report, where we can select the term, session and class details, and the subject. So if we wish to see the exam results or details about one particular subject, we can choose that, so that we have their student name, rank, percentage, etc. Now we have the top ranked students, where we will be able to see the report of all the students who have achieved the top rank. So the data for them will be visible over here. Similarly, we have teacher progress. So the teacher performance report will be visible over here. So assuming that the result of the student is somewhat influenced by the teaching and the performance of the teacher, so we can also see the number of students who have gained 90 to 100% in the subject, 80 to 90%, and so on, and the number of students who have failed. So accordingly, the performance bar of the performance scale will be visible. So this will also help us to sort of analyze the efficiency and the progress of the teacher who has been assigned this particular subject. Similarly, we have also student progress report. So after selecting them, we'll be able to see the progress report of the students, as to how many students have failed, passed, and their percentage, etc. So if we click on one particular student from the records, we'll be able to see their progress report, which is important in analyzing their total performance, etc. Next we have the online exam reports. So since we have the feature to conduct examinations online on our ERP system, the result and rank reports for that can also be viewed from here itself. So first we have the result report, wherein we can select the exam that are being conducted online and the results for that. So the students who have attempted the exam, the number of students who have attempted, the submitted exam, the remaining attempts, etc. It will be visible over here. Next we have the exam report. So we can select the time period and the date type in order to see the different exams that are being scheduled during that particular time period, and all the details whether the exam was published or not, or has the result been published or not, along with the number of students who had appeared for it, the number of questions that were given as the question paper, the duration of the exam, along with the date and time. Now we have the student exams attempt report, where once again we'll be selecting the time period. So we'll be able to see the different students and sections from which they have attempted the exam, and the duration and the result published, etc. Lastly, we have the exam rank report. So we can select the exam for which we wish to see the student ranks, and the data for that will be visible over here. So if we had some scheduled exams, we would be able to see the data of the different ranks that the students have achieved in that particular exam. Next we have the lesson plan reports. So first we'll be able to see the syllabus status report. So we'll be able to see the subject, lesson and topic that has been planned and its status, whether it is completed, whether it's still pending in progress, etc. Next we have the subject lesson plan report. So after selecting the class and section, the subject grouping and subject, we'll be able to see the data for the teacher who has been assigned to that subject, the different lesson topic and subtopics under that lesson, and the date or time, etc. on which the lesson was taught. Next we have the teacher syllabus report. So we can select the staff member or the teacher who has been teaching and look at how much syllabus they have already completed during this time period. Now we have the daily lesson report. So we'll be able to see the lesson or the topics that have been covered on this particular date for this session. So details will be visible over here if we had the records. Similarly, the lesson reports are visible on a daily, monthly and month-wise weekly basis. So over here we'll be able to see the lessons that have been completed over the course monthly, and similarly we'll be able to see the records on a weekly basis as well. Next we have the Maharashtra exam reports. So since we have the Maharashtra exam module integrated on our system, we'll be able to see the reports for that as well. So first we have the result report. So we can select the exam groups, the exam, session and class, and we'll be able to see the list of the students who have appeared for the exam. Next we have the exams term report. Now the data regarding that will be visible over here. And then you can click on one particular student and select them in order to generate their report, which will be visible over here. So the different exam, their marks, percentage, etc. divided into different evaluation categories will be visible this way. So this is a sample. Now we have the student exams report. So after selecting all these details, we'll be able to see the records for the student exams. So if you click on one particular student and select them, we can generate their subject-wise report. So this is one of the samples. Next, you have the student rank report. So we'll be able to see the different students and the different subjects for which they have appeared the exam. So as we can see, these 4 subjects had conducted their exams and the students attempted them, after which we'll be able to see the grand total and the percentage along with the grades that they have achieved. Next we have the exam report. So over here we'll be able to see the exam report after selecting one student and generating their report. So as you can see, this is a much more detailed view. You can view it in watched or subject. Now we have the final exams report. So we'll be able to see the report student wise and their other details such as parents details, category, gender, etc. And if we had the data, we could have selected the student and generated their report. Now we have the annual results scorecard. So this is how the annual results scorecard will look like. So basically these results are for these specific grades which are already mentioned, such as 5th and 8th, 9th and 11th, strength, etc. But since we do not have the data for that, we are unable to see them. So this is another sample of the result sheet for this particular student. And we can also view the results as an Excel file. Next, we have the average term result sheet. So once again, we can either generate it or view it as an Excel sheet. So as you can see, we can either generate it for one specific student or all of them. So we'll be able to see all the bifurcations over here. Similarly, we have the result sheet. So we can view it for multiple exam groups. So we can just keep selecting them and adding them. So this is what the result sheet for one particular student will look like. And similarly, you can generate it for all of the students at once as well. So this is how it will look like for multiple students. You can scroll and view it for different students. Now we have the Maharashtra Pattern Exam Progress Report. So after selecting them, we'll be able to see the performance graph and progress report for the student. So it can either be viewed as for one particular individual student or for the entire class. So this particular sheet will have a graphical representation of their performance along with their grades, with the signature, etc. Now we have the report card. So this is what the report card will look like, and it will have other activities or other evaluative factors as well, as we can see here, along with the marks that they have achieved for the exams. Lastly, we have the teacher progress. So along with the students' data, it's also important that we look at the teacher's progress or performance report. So as we can see, the teacher progress report for the Maharashtra exam pattern is visible over here. So we can see that this teacher teaches the subject Marathi, and out of the total strength, which is 16, 9 students have achieved 90 to 100% bracket, 3 students have achieved 80 to 90%, 2 students have achieved 70 to 80, then another 2 students have achieved 60 to 70. and none of the students have achieved any grades below that, nor have they failed. So as we can see, most of the students have achieved 90 to 100%, which implies that the teacher's performance has been overall good. Next we have the human resource reports. So here we have the different human resource reports. So first we have the staff report. So we can choose the time frame and the status, whether they are active or disabled, their role and designation. Afterwards, you'll be able to see all the data regarding the staff ID, their role, designation, the department in which they serve, name, contact details, their date of birth, date of joining, any emergency contact numbers, marital status, address, qualifications, work experience, basic salary, their contract type, is it permanent, full-time, part-time, freelance, their work shift, so it could be day shift, night shift, double shift, etc. Their location, the number of leaves that they have taken, account title, bank account number, etc., which might be required during salary and wages. Next, we have the payroll report for a specific role and month. So after choosing the details, you'll be able to see the payroll that has been generated for this particular role pertaining to this month. Next, we have the leave request report. So over here, we'll be able to see all the different requests that have been raised by the staff members in order to get their leaves. So we can choose the date, the date of joining, etc., the staff name, and the status of the leave, whether it has been approved, disapproved, or still pending. So as we can see over here, we have one request for an unpaid leave. As we can see, these are the dates on which they applied or raised the request, and these are the dates of the leaves. So from 8th to 13th, they'll be having 6 days of leave, and the status of the request is still pending. Next, we have the My Leave Request report. So once again, we'll be selecting the dates and the status, and we'll be able to see the staff who have applied for different type of leaves and the days, apply date, leave date, etc., and their status. Next, we have the homework reports. So first off, we have homework report. So we'll select the class and section, the subject grouping and the subject, post which we'll be able to see the homework details for this particular class and subject. So we'll be able to see the class section, the different subject and subject grouping, along with the homework date on which the homework was being given, along with the submission date and the student count who have submitted the homework. Also, the students who are yet to submit their homework will also be visible over here. We also have a homework evaluation report. So we'll select the class and section. So we have the data, we'll be able to see how much of the homework for this particular subject is being submitted and how much of it is complete or incomplete in percentage. Next are the daily assignment report. So there could be multiple assignments that the teachers might be giving. So we can select the time frame, the class section, and we'll be able to see the assignments that the teachers are giving to their students. So we'll be able to see the student name, class section, and the total assignments that they have completed, etc. Lastly, we have the homework marks report. So after selecting the class and section, we'll be able to see the data regarding the different students and the marks that they have achieved in their homework. Next, we have the library report. So first, we have the book issue report. So you can select the time frame and the members. So whether you wish to see the teachers or the students, you can select that. Then after clicking on search, you'll be able to see all the books that have been issued along with their details such as the book title, number, issue date, the due return date, member ID, library card number, the staff member who issued it, and the member type. So it could be a student or a teacher who had issued the book. Next we have the book due report. So again we'll be selecting the time frame and the member type in order to see which issue books have their due date coming here. So we'll be able to see the similar details along with the issue date and return date so that we can send reminders and get the book back before the due date. Next we have the book inventory. So since we have multiple books in storage, we'll be able to see all the books that we have stored in the library along with book title, number, their ISBN number, other important details such as publisher, author, subject in which they fall, and the rack number on which they are kept. So this will be easier for the staff to find them, along with the quantity and which is kept for the book and the number of books out of which that they are issued, along with the book price. Next we have the book issue return report. So in case there are any issues with the return, so we'll be able to select the year and look at the data for all the book issues that have been returned already. So the records regarding that would be here. So you can just look at the record for all the returns that you received. Next we have the inventory reports. So we have these three reports. First we have the stock report. So a school, college or any other institution could have multiple type of inventory. It could be uniform, it could be sport equipments, it could be stationery, etc. So we'll select the time duration and look at the stock that has been kept during that time frame along with the name, categories as I mentioned, the supplier, store, the available quantity out of which how much has been issued. Next we have the add item report. So we can once again select the time frame and look at the items belonging to different category, the supplier, their store quantity and purchase price, etc. Lastly, we have the issue item report. So over here we'll be able to see the different inventory items that we have already issued to different people. So in case we have issued or given the uniform, for example, to the students, we'll be able to see the data regarding that. So the item, any note, the category, the issue return if possible or if applicable, and the issue to and issued by, etc., along with the quantity. So these reports will be visible over here. Next up we have the transport report, wherein we'll be able to see the details regarding the different route list, the different transport pickup points, etc. that we have, along with the different vehicles. So the settings for these are already being done in the transport module. So you'll be able to see the different students who have opted for the transportation facility, along with the mother's and father's contact details, the route title, vehicle number, pickup point, etc. that they have been assigned, along with the driver's name and contact details, and a fare if applicable. Next we have the alumni report, wherein we'll be able to see all the alumni that have been passed out for a particular academic session. So if I wish to see the alumni for this session, all their records will be visible over here. such as their previous admission number, their details, class, gender, their current email ID, so that it's easier for us to stay in touch with them, their date of birth, their current address, and their occupation and phone number. We also have the user activity reports, which is basically divided into these individuals, such as all of the users, or if you wish to see it only for the staff members, only for the students, or only for the parents, it is visible over here. You can also clear the user log record over here. So we'll be able to see the different users who have logged in, their role and class if applicable, along with their IP address, login date and time, and user agent. Similarly, we have the audit trail report, where you will be able to see all the changes that the user has made in the ERP system. So over here we can see the record has been updated. So all of these details are visible over here. And you can also clear the audit trail record if you no longer require it. Now, similar to the Maharashtra exam, we also have CBSE examination reports. So firstly, we have the homework report along with the different subjects. You can choose the class, the month, and session. To look at the data for the different homeworks that have been given to the students, and then you can generate the report for that. Next, we have the periodic test report. So if we had the record, we would be able to select the student and generate their report regarding their periodic test, which can also be known as unit test or topic-wise test. We also have slip report. So if we have the data, we'll be able to see the report generated for the slip report. Now, similar to all of these things, we have the term or period report, the report card. So it is divided into the different terms. So there could be multiple terms such as term 1, term 2. And if you wish to see a summary for both of them, then that is also available. We also have the exam progress report. So we can select the exam group. So you can select more than one exam groups, the class and section. And by selecting the student, we can generate the report of their progress, which will most likely be displayed in a graphical and numerical manner so that we can evaluate their performance and progress. We also have the annual report card, wherein you can select the class, section, and exam in order to generate the report card. Lastly, we have the teacher progress. So similar to the student progress report, we'll also be able to see the progress of the teacher bifurcated into how many students are there in the class and what grades they have achieved. So, if more number of students have achieved a better grade or a higher grade, it will imply that the teacher has done an efficient and good job. Whereas if more students have failed or received lower grades, it implies that the teacher might need some retraining. Next, we have the income parties. So this is basically the report of the accounting module, where we have the different income parties visible over here. So we could be receiving income from multiple different sources, and the different amount, etc. will be visible over here. The very last report that we have is the active time report, where we'll be able to see the detailed records of the date and time for the different users, and you can also refine the results or filter them by entering some specific details so that you only see the desired records. And as we can see, the date, the username, the start and end time along with the total time spent will be visible over here. So that is all for the reports module.